The Living Zen-podcast is a gift from the members and associates of the Victoria Zen Centre to you. If you enjoy it, please be sure to let your friends know about Living Zen. If you'd like to support our community, here are a few ways that you can do it. Download the Living Zen podcast app for iPod, iPhone, or Android. You can also purchase additional Zen Talks by Venerable Eshu on iTunes or Amazon.com. One of the most meaningful ways to show your support is by joining our Sangha as an associate. Your commitment of $10 a month will ensure that offerings like the Living Zen podcast and our online e-Zendo will continue to be available around the world to everyone with an interest in truly living Zen. To become an associate, please visit our website at www.zenwest.ca and click on the membership tab. Thank you for your support. A part of my practice here at the Victoria Zen Centre is really trying to make this practice, this way, as accessible to as many people as I can. And so I use all kinds of different ways, from offering sort of public, free opportunities to just being accessible. And this offers all kinds of opportunities for me to learn and grow and to interact with different kinds of people. And so I had an interaction this morning that I wanted to talk about a little bit, because it kind of shone a light on a perspective or an attitude towards practice that I think is worthwhile investigating. So this morning, I had this little funny sound go off, and there was somebody messaging me, chatting me up in Facebook. And so I have no idea, I don't know this person. And so the person asked, if somebody had depression and issues with anger and rage, what would you recommend for them to do? So this is not an unusual thing for me to have pop up in Facebook chat. It's an occupational hazard, I guess. I don't know. So what I said was, well, I'd recommend that this person get in touch with a counselor to start with, and then if the person was interested in pursuing a further remedy in a Buddhist context, I would recommend that they make a good relationship with a teacher and seek the support of a community. And now this person responded that they couldn't afford a counselor, and that there was language barriers with their teacher, and that their local community wasn't even supportive of a Buddhist practice. What meditation technique would I recommend? This is the question. And this is the issue that I wanted to talk about. I think that in our culture today, as much as I really appreciate the scientific research that's going into studying meditation, and meditation's impact on the brain and on things like happiness, I think one of the dangers that's coming out of these kinds of studies is that people are viewing meditation in isolation. They're looking at the practice of seated meditation, or the focusing on the breath, or general awareness of the circumstance as being an end unto itself, as having all of these miraculous benefits. And it's being taken out of the context of a broader practice. Many times I'm asked, well, this company or this group of people would be interested in learning a little bit more about meditation, and we'd really like you to come and teach meditation, but could you leave behind all of this sort of Buddhist stuff and just talk about the practice of meditation? And I have to say that I've actually declined every opportunity to talk about meditation in this way, because for me, meditation is a doorway, it's a gateway. Meditation is a practice which opens our eyes, which allows us to experience what is taking place around us and within us. And this is fine to do in isolation if everything is sort of sunshine and rainbows. But even after a short amount of meditation practice, consistent meditation practice, what we become aware of is that around us and within us there are many currents, many influences, many habits, many struggles that we have. So even if we're able to gain a little bit of insight through the practice of meditation, without placing that in a broader context of practice, a broader context of investigating our life activity, our habits, our ethics, our means of making relationship, then meditation actually doesn't have a root. And it's very easy for it to fall away. The metaphor that I used in explaining this today was it's like asking, what exercise should I do to be a healthy person? Which, if we just look at it superficially, seems like a completely reasonable question. What kind of exercise should I do if I want to be a healthy person? But there isn't an exercise in the world that will help you to be a healthy person if you just consume a ton of junk food, and if you chain smoke, and if you binge drink, and if you engage in all kinds of these unhealthy practices. You can do chin-ups or push-ups or whatever exercise you want, and you'll never be a healthy person. This meditation practice, as it's taught in this context, is a component of a life-transforming system. In the original Buddha Sangha, it was called Dhamma Vinaya, the teaching and the, rules. There is this teaching which points to the heart, which points to the activity of the unfolding moment. But there is also this structure that supports this investigation, that allows us to have a strong foundation in which we can investigate our activities. Fundamentally, this practice is about liberation from suffering, awakening to things as they are, developing the ability to engage in our lives in a way which is of benefit to ourselves and to others. And traditionally, this is engaged in what's called three treasures: Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And in today's culture, we like to pick and choose. And many people just want to grab this one treasure, the Dharma. I want to be able to read books, and I want to be able to listen to talks on iTunes, and I want to be able to do my sitting meditation. But I don't want to have anything more. I want to be able to do this on my own. But from the beginning, this tradition, this teaching, has incorporated three treasures. The Buddha, which represents the engagement with a teacher, with somebody who can reflect, can hold you accountable, can ask you questions, can probe and can press you to go ever deeper, to confront the things that scare you, to support you when you're struggling. And it also includes the third treasure of Sangha, or community. We always like to think that we can just do this by ourselves, do this for ourselves. But when we approach this practice from this mindset, we're actually fixating something which creates suffering, this idea of isolation, separation, of I being somehow able to even be disconnected from all that's around me. To take refuge or to engage in the treasure of Sangha is to allow ourselves to be accountable to a community in which we practice together. To be accountable to a community with whom we can share. We can share our struggles, we can share our triumphs, we can share our practice. When we engage in this meditation, this seated meditation, this activity of deepening our awareness, our focus, and our insight into this unfolding activity of the moment in the context of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, then we're able to experience the transformative power of this practice. It's not just meditation. My hope for all of these people, it's an unbelievably full night here. People are giving up cushions so that other people can sit. Is that we don't come just for the self-satisfying experience of, oh, now I'm a meditator, now I meditate. This is a good first step. But my hope for all of you this year is that you can engage in the experience of three treasures. Whether that's here with the Victoria Zen Centre, or whether that's with another group, another church, another tradition, to become immersed in a relationship with a teacher, with a practice, and with a community, is to take refuge in the three treasures. And to do this is to know what it means to practice, to truly practice. And this is my hope for all of us this year. Thank you for starting out right here. Thanks for listening to the Living Zen podcast. If you follow Living Zen through iTunes, I would very much appreciate it if you would take a moment to let me know what you think about it by rating or reviewing the podcast, so that new listeners can also hear what you have to say. Thank you for your time and for your support.